Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Sunday, May 11th, which just happens to be Mother's Day. So though I've talked about it a couple times lately, that I was going to come out to Dutchtown and film because this is where my mom grew up. I'm going to point. She grew up one of the side streets just over there. And then when I was born, my parents lived just down the street on Stewart Street here. So I thought I'd start here for Mother's Day. Today is also National Eat What You Want Day. So I'm going to have to move over here a little bit. It says Crossroads Market, if you can see that. That's Crossroad Cone, which is the tattoo parlor now. Crossroads Food Market used to be, back when I lived over here, was Miron's. I went to school with one of their daughters. Now the Peroskis own it. So go in there. I'm not going to go in there when I'm done because it is National Hostess Cupcake Day and get a Hostess Cupcake. It's also Better Sleep Month. And I'm going to bring that up because I have not slept well all week. There was one night it was just so muggy out that you couldn't sleep. And then actually I think there was 2 nights that were close to that. And then I was out late Tuesday night. And I want to say late. I'm old. It was 10 o'clock. Like I got home at 10. But I also left at 7. Like I pulled out of the driveway before 7 and it was rainy that morning. And then Wednesday was a normal day except for I had some bright ideas I was working on, so I was up late. Thursday was a normal day. Kind of came home, crashed after watching Ghost. And then, of course, Friday was Friday night dinner. And then yesterday I was in Howell at for a church event. And by the time I got done, was over there, did a little shopping, came back. It was late. And then I just kept falling asleep because I got no sleep Friday into Saturday. I had 3 hours sleep. And then went over to Howell, did my church event, and we actually came up with some good ideas. And I'll be sharing that with the people today because I gotta type up the minutes. But so it was like last night, turned on YouTube, and they had Luke and Laura on from General Hospital from when she came back from the dead, and it just kept playing. I don't know, I fell asleep before she even saw her sister. I got to see her see Luke and see her parents, and I was out. And so I want to show this. Now, I don't know why the sidewalk doesn't go all the way. When I was little, the people who lived here, as I said, this is Dutchtown. This was like, they had Dutch stuff in their yard. And I was always told, like, this was a farm back in the day. Like, the first people who moved to this part of area, they owned most of this land, and they were Dutch. Watch this white truck coming. I still stopped there, even though the railroad tracks are gone. You can't see down there quite as far as where I lived when my parents lived. I moved when we were like 3. I remember moving. I remember that. I really don't remember being in that house. My sister Darlene probably does, because I think when we moved, she went to middle school. So she finished out at Bryant down the street. And I know Jane and Denise went to Bryant. I never went to Bryant. I went to Washington. So see this caution light here. I couldn't even tell you how long it's been a caution light. But I remember it as an actual light. So, but it's also Small Business Month. So you've got your Crossroads Market here. You've got Chip's Place over here. Shop your local small businesses. It's also National Heritage Month and Local Community History Month. So let's look in here. Oh, look, the wooden floors are still there. I was just talking about them. If you can see me, hi everybody. Groundhog again, you can see my shadow. That was a hardware store when I was growing up. And you could walk, I think the floors are newer than that though. And you would walk on them and they would creak. My dad used to take me in there. Oh, poor baby bird. Oh my goodness. A couple of dead baby birds right here. I wonder what happened to them. Oh, there's another one. So I'm trying to, I have it in my head this was just a store, but I don't know. I don't really remember being in there. I can see my shadow again. Hey everybody. Got my hair up, it's muggy. Oh, look at this. I'd call this a snowball tree. Almost looks like carnations. I love those pink snowballs. You used to get them over here at the store. Funny story, I call them Hostess cakes, Charlie Brown cakes, because the Peanuts gang used to advertise them. My dad used to take me into Maron's back there, now Crossroads, and I would get one. But all right, so this says it's Owasso Hitch and Plow. I remember this, it's been here a while. But when I was in kindergarten, this was a gas station. And we, my dad, kindergarten back then was half a day. There was no whole day kindergarten. You went a half a day. And I think I said in a previous video, I grew up with Cindy and Billy over in Middletown, and they separated us. So I went to kindergarten in the morning, and Billy and Cindy were in 2 different classes in the afternoon. And my dad picked me up, and we had some running, and oh, look, a kitty. Hi, kitty. You want to pose for us? Kitty's like, this crazy one. But like I said, this was a gas station, and we'd pulled up, and he was going to take me to Penguin Point, which is my absolute favorite restaurant. If you know me, you know that. And we had done a couple other things first. I was so hungry that I got sick there. Didn't get to go to Penguin Point. So, look here. Oh, this one, look at they're coming down. Them are cool. This would be beautiful. Like, I love fall. I always said, I would plant different trees to get different colors in my yard in the fall. But you put this with tulip trees and one like Wilma's that has kind of that more reddish color, that would be gorgeous. So I guess here, look at hanging out the window. I love that. Just don't like it when people drive with animals on their laps, because anything can happen. If you can't drive with a kid on your lap, you shouldn't be able to drive with a animal on your lap. Man, there's a lot of traffic here in Dutchtown. We're crossing the street now. There's nobody at the light. My friend Julio lives down there. Oh, look, Smile, you're on camera. Well, absolutely, you are here too, people. So we're coming up to Chip's Place. Now, I always remember it as Sir Pizza. And they do have pizza now. And their pizzas are little squares with these little squared pepperonis. Like I said, they're doing much better than what they were. They've got a better staff working now. But I'm going to tell you a funny story when we get up closer to where that bush is. Maybe you can see it if I move over and I can start here. So my godparents lived down the street, who happened to be my aunt and uncle. I don't know where my aunt was. She was gone that night. It was a Friday night or a Saturday night, and I was spending the night with my cousin Heather. And This is after the Friday the 13th movies came out. And so there was a phone booth right about here. And I don't know, maybe it was down by the store more. And my dad and Uncle Arnold, who are brothers, thought they were funny. And they called us at Heather's house, pretending like, no, I don't even know how to say pretending. They were doing the kill, 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 kill from Friday the 13th to us. That's the kind of childhood I had. Look at all the staples on this building. Never noticed it. Oh, I wonder if that's a cook staff at Chips. Oh, look at Sir Pizza West. There you go. Let's walk up a little closer to that. Person sitting in their car is probably going, what is this lady doing? Oh, it's Garfield and Odie. They should redo this sign. That is cool. Oh, I think I'm too close. There we go. That is absolutely cool. Fresh strawberry. Is it daiquiris? I don't know. Now this next place here was also a store. I want to say it was a Heron's, and I want to say we had a couple of those around here. People are driving by like, why is this girl walking out talking to herself? So this was Heron's, and I remember being in there a few times. Oh look, we got a Store Street Gang here. This would have been me if I grew up here, but nope, I grew up over. Oh, and look, they're having a garage sale here. Technically, it's a yard sale, I guess. So that house over there. Oh, look, there's more of those trees. We're gonna have to call them Dutchtown trees. That's for rent. Looks like a lot of holiday stuff. Oh, Christmas cards. Look, $1. I don't know if they'll be out tomorrow. Look, she's sitting over here. I'm doing a video on Dutchtown.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, good. So, oh, yes. Oh. So, oh, there's another puppy. We'll have to check that out when we come back through. We'll check out the next puppy. I don't remember what this was. Oh, look, the glass. That could be from cars going up and down the street, hitting it with rocks. But this building, I'm not even sure what this is anymore. Look like it's just full of stuff. Why does all that paper look like it's been burned? That's awful. But this has been quite a few things. I always liked this building. This cute little building, I just thought it was adorable. So see, it goes, it's not a bad size. Don't like the flat roof, but you could always fix that. Those either glasses, but I still think that's from Cars. But he's a little yapper dog. So I'm gonna cross the street. I'll show you the. Oh, there's a dog over here too. He wants to get in on the action. No cars. No cars. It is a little noisy over here. I guess I never really realized that. But what are those trees? So I wonder if this goes, if it's maybe an upstairs and a downstairs. Look at these trees though. So actually my niece lives down there just a few blocks as well. But I'm gonna stay on this side because I want to walk by. Hey, it's Julio. Say hi. Hola. Yeah. Thank you. That's Julio. Real name Mike. I call him Julio. Because I have rules about people not sitting by each other with the same name. No, they don't. I was smelling them. They have no smell to them. And he was sitting by another Mike, and he goes, I just wanted to be Julio. So he became Julio. I'm all about that. Pick a new name for yourself. I'm Treeha. That's thanks to my dad. Always called me Tree. My brother-in-law Ben added the ha. He can sing it really high. And then my friend Lenore added the ha-ha. So sometimes I'm Tree ha-ha. But oh, look at the old cars. Look at that. I think they're gonna race each other. But like I said, it's Mother's Day. Wish your mother a happy Mother's Day. Wish your godmother a happy Mother's Day. Your grandmother, your sister, your aunt, your great aunts, or your neighbor mom who helped raise you. Anybody. Like, just go say happy Mother's Day to a woman. Oh, here comes a fire truck. Should be, my guess, it might be Owasso Township. No, it's City of Owasso. Oh, I didn't notice they had that in memory of. But, so, for all of you fans of Ashes to Ashes, I should say Life on Mars, is that Gene Hunt's car? Because if it is, I would love it. So I still have to go put flowers on the grave. I like to do it on Mother's Day. Say hi to Mom and Grandma. But it was 14 years ago today that my mom passed away. It wasn't quite Mother's Day. Mother's Day was that Sunday. And we had been up. We took her up. She literally walked into the emergency room. And within a few minutes of sitting in the chair, I was up at the desk, and my sister Jane and her boys were with my mom. And she was sitting in a wheelchair, and she started falling out. And you don't know who my mom is. She had a daycare for 40 years. And we were back there, and it was God's intervention is how I could best, to us, not to my mom, but to us kids, who weren't kids, by the way. They, one by one, they come in, and one of them worked there, and she's talking to my mom, and she says, do you know who I am? And she goes, yes. Like, my mom shakes her head, yes. And she goes, who am I? What's my name? And she goes, I don't know. You're Luke and Matt's mom. FYI, she was Luke and Matt's mom. It made sense. She saw Luke and Matt all day, every day. Remembering them, not the mother's name, made sense. And then I'm going to get this wrong on everybody who was there. Jenny Jackson at that point. She was up there with her daughter, Alicia. And she's like, yeah. Jenny was almost like the fifth daughter to my mom, because we had this aunt who thought there was one more of us. And it's a motorcycle. I thought it was Ice Cream Man. And she just happened to be up there, and Mackenzie's mom happened to be up there. And then we got her a room, and about 5 a.m. the next morning, which was the 11th, I'm like, I gotta go home. I've been here all night. I feel filthy. I'm gonna run and take a quick shower. I posted it to Facebook, not realizing we'd only told one of my mom's sisters, because it was a week. Like, we found out the previous Friday that she had colon cancer. Like, we were gonna fight this. I mean, it'd been a week. And so I posted to Facebook. My aunt calls, who just recently passed away herself, and she's like, we're coming up there. And so her and My mom's sister Sue, Aunt Shushu, came up. My Aunt Lola came up a little bit later. My dad's sister, my Aunt Pat and Uncle Richard, a few of their kids drove down from Mount Pleasant, Shepherd area. And then my Aunt Susie was right there. My Aunt Susie lives right down there. She's married to my Uncle Arnold. My Uncle Arnold had, at that point, he had some sort of lung issue. He couldn't be around a lot of people. So we always kept him separated. He just kept checking in. My cousin Heather was on a field trip with one of her kids. As soon as she got back, she was there. My cousin Sean, oh, look a bee. My cousin Sean left work to be there, and my cousin Kim. And my oldest nephew, little Ben, and his wife were about to have their first child. We knew it was a boy, didn't know the name. My mom knew the name. And we were waiting, and my mom's side of the family, no offense, are a little quieter, keep to themselves. My dad's side of the family's nuts. They're loud, they scream and fight, they'll kill each other, and 5 minutes later make up. Like, that's just what we do. And my poor mom's laying there, and they're like, pretend like you're at home, and we're all going on. And Pastor Bear came up, and he said he was going to come back. And he goes, I'll come back later. And so it was like 9:30. I get the text that Kingston was born, and just said he was born and how much he weighed in a photo. And I said to my mom, I says, Mom, you're a great grandmother again. Kingston would have been her third. And she opened her eyes. No, I didn't get the photo. I didn't get the photo till later. Because she's like, I was waiting for him. And I'm like, who are you waiting for? And she said, Kingston. She knew his name. Like, we did not. And then that was the last thing she said. And then we just kept going about our day. And finally, about 6 or so, I get the photo, the first photo. And my sister Jane wanted to see it. And I said, no, Mom gets to see it first. And so I go over and I'm like, Mom, I got a picture. She opened her eyes. She looked at Kingston. And she said, she didn't say really anything. She just smiled. And about a half hour later, she passed away. She waited for him to be born. It was... And then, little side note to that, I had rushed home, and they're like, well, we need proof that you're in charge. Like, your mom left you in charge. And she had this booklet. I literally tore her bedroom apart where I thought it was. Could not find it. By the way, as soon as I got home, after she passed, we found it. But I go into the garage, and all you can smell is my dad's cigar smoke. As soon as we pulled in afterwards, went in, Kim and Sean come over on their motorcycles and stayed for a few hours. The cigar smell was gone. I think he had waited 10 years in that garage just to go with her. But, so that was 14 years ago. So, like I said, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We may, I don't know, we usually get ice cream. I don't know if we will or not. Haven't talked to the sisters yet. One's working. The other's like, whatever. I tried to videotape the train for my oldest sister because she has no trains, and I think the clickety-clack vibrations shut my phone off, so I didn't get it all. But I will be updating that soon. Getting another train one that's on another page. But I want to give a big shout out and happy birthday to my nephew Kingston. Can't believe you're 14. Where did the time go? From that little boy who liked to sing Frosty the Snowman to now you're a teenager? I can't believe that. So with that, I wish everybody a happy Mother's Day and Kingston a happy birthday. And we will talk again soon. Got somebody yelling out Happy Mother's Day. Couldn't see who it was, so I just waved. But, oh, look at that puppy. Okay, we're officially signing off.